the king!
These are worthy foes. Underestimate them at your peril.
Be on the lookout for increased security measures. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. The target console is nearby. If you trigger the alarms now, the enemy will start destroying data. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Kommer an excellent kläser.
Excellent work. A clean extraction with no alarms. You're nearing the console. Trigger the alarms now, and they will start destroying the data. Keep moving. None of the scanners have detected you. Data extracted. They won't even know it's gone.
Et salut Magita. En général, je rate les bulles sur Overframe. Je sais pas si tu connais. Moi, Sora, je l'ai pas testé encore. tu veux, je peux t'en trouver un de spi, hein, par contre. Hein, y a pas de problème. Après, je peux pas te dire si je l'aime bien ou quoi. J'ai pas encore testé Cora. J'ai même pas voulu le tuer. J'essaie de passer en mode discretos.
The target console is nearby. If you trigger the alarms now, the enemy will start destroying data.
Ah mince.
Excellent work. A clean extraction with no alarms. We have everything we came for. Get to extraction.
Je zigzag entre les ennemis. Ils sont quand même beaucoup en forteresse Cuva. Hein. Ça rigole pas. Hop, c'est en haut. À un moment, quand je serai assez calé ici, je la ferai avec Titania. Ça ira plus vite, hein, surtout pour le chemin retour.
Your will was greater. This is good.
Ah, c'est Céphalon Simaris avec un C. Avec un S.
Operator, the system needs you. Will you begin another mission?
The first game was a totally unique moveset. Fans of Homeworld 2 have been waiting 2 decades for a sequel, and they won't have to wait that much longer. Homeworld 3 takes place even further in the future and will shake up the deep space RTS formula with the addition of terrain that'll allow for cover. It's still in space, mind you, but there's just a lot of shit floating around up there now. If you love the games that Arcane has put out, like Dishonored, Prey, and Deathloop, and you hate vampires, boy do I have the game for you that you probably already knew about. Redfall will have you staking your claim in a New England town filled with bloodsuckers, and this time around it's co-op, so up to 3 friends can join in on the fun. Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl is the long-awaited sequel to the 2007 post-apocalyptic survival horror game based on the Tarkovsky film of the same name, based on the classic novel Roadside Picnic, and its development has certainly not been a picnic, roadside, or otherwise. In addition to all the other hurdles of developing a AAA video game through the pandemic, Ukraine-based GSC World also had to put things on hold while their country was being bombed and invaded by Russian forces. This is supposed to hit the new Xboxes and PC sometime in the first half of the year, but I think of all the games on this list, I don't think anybody's going to be mad if they need more time. Starfield is shaping up to be Skyrim in space. And before you tell me that's a stupid, reductive way of describing it, I'm quoting Todd Howard, so take that. Anyway, in space, no one can hear you dragon shout, but you can probably go collect some cheese wheels on the moon or on one of the hundreds of other planets in this game. That's on all the new Xboxes and PC. If you like deep space stuff, but Starfield sounds dauntingly expansive, well, there's also The Expanse, a Telltale series, which is a narrative adventure set in the universe of the hit TV show, and that's on PC
For
and
all
consoles.
the universe's
If you think narrative adventures are a novel
there's
idea,
only
well, it's time to
one
unravel
plot.
a new story with Alan Wake 2,
Things are
which sees
not
the
what
return
they
of Remedy's
seem.
author-protagonist, but this time around promises to be a proper survival horror. If you're one of the many people who spent thousands of hours hunting and crafting and riding dinosaurs in Ark, you may have thought to yourself at some point, this game is great, but it needs Vin Diesel. Well, you weren't the only one, because Vin Diesel felt the same way, and after playing a shitload of the first game, he's not only starring in the sequel, he's also involved with its development as Studio Wildcard's president of creative convergence, which means he's also executive producing an Ark animated series. Sure, why not? If you think giant robots are f***ing awesome, you're correct. And FromSoft's beloved mecha series Armored Core is back with its 6th long overdue installment, Fires of Rubicon. What took so long? Well, FromSoft was busy establishing a little genre called Soulsborne with a trilogy of Dark Souls games, Bloodborne, Sekiro, and of course Elden Ring. There's absolutely no reason to expect Armored Core to be anything like those games, and according to the developers, it isn't really, but considering those games are what amassed FromSoft its devoted following, I imagine those fans are being taken into consideration at least somewhat. That's coming to everything. Another AC franchise getting at least one new entry this year is Assassin's Creed. Longtime fans might be relieved to hear that after the last few games have veered heavily into action RPG territory, Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to scale things back and return to the original game's design pillars of stealth, parkour, and assassinations. The setting? 9th century Baghdad. The first Hades was a smash hit in 2020. Its fast-paced roguelike action and slick visuals earned it a spot on countless best-of lists, as well as nabbing IGN's Game of the Year award. While we're always happy to see Supergiant Games go back to the drawing board to try something completely new and experimental, we're also thrilled that there's more Hades on the way, which will undoubtedly have plenty of surprises in store. Pinocchio fans, if such a thing actually exists, have had a pretty busy couple of years. Hot on the trail of Disney and Del Toro's feature
Seems
film
like
takes on
every
that
last
dishonest,
corpus
lovable
who
wooden
signed
boy
on to
comes
Alec
Lies
B's
of
project
P.
in the
This action
clouds
RPG
have yet
retells
to
the
be
original
heard
19th
from.
century fairy tale in the
That's
form
what
of
I
a
call a
fast-paced action
catch-eye and
RPG a la
non-disclosure
Bloodborne, and yes,
agreement.
you'll be able to tell lies. Marvel's Spider-Man was one of the best-selling games on PS4, so unsurprisingly, it's getting a follow-up, but the sequel will be exclusive to PS5. After seeing how much Insomniac Games was able to do with the new hardware and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, we are dying to see what new tricks our friendly neighborhood wall crawler has in store for us in the sequel. The Cops and Robbers co-op shooter Payday 2 gets a long-awaited sequel a full decade after the last game released. This time around, players can expect larger-scaled heist, as developers have described the setting as, quote, a living, enormous representation of New York City. Another series getting a sequel after a decade of nothing, unless you count the mobile game, is Pikmin. We basically haven't seen anything from this game outside of a 30-second trailer, but we have a sneaking suspicion that it will involve some Pikmin. I don't know, what do you know about this game? They haven't shown us anything. A whole bunch of beloved horror movie licenses have found new life in the asymmetrical multiplayer genre, and joining the ranks of Friday the 13th, Predator, Evil Dead, and Killer Clowns from Outer Space is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Based squarely in the era of the 1974 slasher classic, the game will have one team playing as meddling teens who have to, not get murdered, and the other team will be playing as not just Leatherface, but his entire messed up family too. Considering how much Gears of War copied Warhammer 40k's homework, it's only fair that they get to follow suit, and the 2011 third-person shooter Space Marine clearly understood the assignment. Now, we're finally getting a sequel continuing the adventures of Ultramarines Captain Titus, who will eviscerate a sea of screeching Tyranids, and this one sounds pretty cool. And finally, for this list, not for all the games coming out, is The Wolf Among Us 2. The reformed Telltale Games is finally returning to the Fables universe to continue Bigby's story. This new game picks up 6 months after the last one. If you need a refresher, that's totally understandable because the last game was released a decade ago. And there you have it. That's a whole bunch of games that are coming out in 2023, and it's not even all of them because a whole bunch of them we don't even know about quite yet. But I know a cool website you can keep an eye on if you like video games. It's called IGN.com. 2023 is going to be a doozy. I'll see you around. Due to a variety of factors like new video game consoles and your run-of-the-mill global pandemic, a whole lot of games got delayed in 2022. That kind of sucked in 2022, but it means 2023 is going to be absolutely bonkers in terms of video game releases. Here are a whole bunch of the games that we know are coming out in 2023, and it's not even all of them. Let's get to it. The year kicks off with Fire Emblem Engage on Switch. This is the follow-up to Three Houses, and this time around you'll be able to summon or engage characters from the series past, including OG protagonist and Smash staple Marth. You can put a ring on it January 20th, so save the date. So let me get this straight. The team behind Final Fantasy 15 developed a new RPG that's not what I would call a Final Fantasy game. It's a freaking PS5 console exclusive that's also coming to PC, and oh yeah, I'm talking about Forspoken. Yeah. Okay, that is a game that's out this month. It was supposed to be out in May, and then in October, and it might actually come out on January 24th, so check it out. If the Callisto Protocol didn't satisfy your need for deep space survival horror in which combat tips are awkwardly written on the wall in blood, well, you can relive the original Dead Space with Dead Space Remake. The entire game has been recreated painstakingly in the Frostbite engine, and it shakes things up a bit with a disgusting new system which is called peeling that apparently lets you mutilate those necromorphs down to the individual bones and tendons. That's horrible, and it's also on new gen and PC on the 27th. On February 10th, it's back to school season in the Wizarding World, and Hogwarts Legacy lets you live out the ultimate fantasy of attending Harry Potter's alma mater. Just imagine the thrill of paying out the ass for textbooks that try to bite you, the least wheelchair-accessible stairs in the history of schools, and your entire academic career being determined by a guidance counselor who is a talking hat. But hey, at least you can re-roll if it puts you in Hufflepuff. If you wish Monster Hunter was a little more like Fortnite, keep an eye out for Wild Hearts, yet another fantastical world for you to explore. This one is inspired by feudal Japan, imagine that. It's developed by Omega Force, the studio behind the Dynasty Warriors series and its myriad Muso spin-offs, and if the fact that EA is publishing worries you, bear in mind that Activision published Sekiro. Will you heart Wild Hearts? See for yourself when it's out in the wild on February 17th. If you're not totally sick of hearts after eating a box of Valentine's candy while playing Wild Hearts, on the 21st, Atomic Heart can get your blood pumping. This is the single-player first-person shooter with a Soviet aesthetic that looks a bit like Fallout's paleo-futurism, but from the other side of the Iron Curtain. However, its combat and weirdness levels seem more in line with BioShock. If you're looking for something to pass the time until Ken Levine's Judas, this might be worth checking out, and it's on everything but Switch. On February 22nd, Sony is for all intents and purposes launching a brand new console with the PlayStation VR 2, which will have a pile of launch titles to go with it, and at the summit of this molehill of a day one releases, you'll find the Horizon spin-off Call of the Mountain, which promises to be a full-length VR game, maybe not as long as the flagship Horizon games, but definitely more meaty than your average virtual reality experience. That's exclusively on PSVR, which is exclusively on PS5. The name Company of Heroes might suggest a sandwich chain like Subway or Quiznos, but rest assured, Company of Heroes 3 is still a World War II RTS. In addition to 2 unique campaigns in Northern Africa and Italy, this one also adds new gameplay features like a dynamic campaign map and a tactical pause, which sounds great for when the real-time combat gets a little too real. That comes to PC on February 23rd. Sons of the Forest is the direct descendant of the hit woodland survival game with a heavy emphasis on survival. While a lot of us would prefer to be stuck on a proverbial desert island with a Steam Deck or an attractive celebrity, this one will see you foraging for supplies and braving the elements while also fending off a horrible cave system full of terrifying mutant cannibals. Sounds lovely. That's on PC. If that's too scary and you'd rather repeatedly kill some adorable astronauts through a reckless trial and error approach to aeronautics, Kerbal Space Program 2 lets you do that and lots more. That hits early access on PC on February 24th, but the developers promise custom bases, multiplayer, mod support, and of course console versions down the road. If you yearn for the simpler days of classic turn-based RPGs with beautiful pixel art and Dickensian campaigns, or if you just thought the 2018 game Octopath Traveler was pretty cool, well, you're in luck because Octopath Traveler hits PC, Switch, and both PlayStations also on February 24th. On March 1st, the day before hits PC, and before your eyes glaze over at the idea of yet another post-apocalyptic zombie survival game with base building and survival elements, get a load of these graphics. A lot of games on this list were delayed due to the pandemic, but developer Fnatic pushed this one so they could switch engines from Unreal 4 to Unreal 5, and it looks like that was a smart move because it's the second most wishlisted game on Steam after Hogwarts Legacy. That's on PC with plans for new-gen console versions later on. Wolong Fallen Dynasty is the latest project from Team Ninja, and it looks to continue the long tradition of kicking your ass repeatedly, which began with Ninja Gaiden and the Neo games, but this one's set in China's Three Kingdoms period, but you know, it's got a grisly dark fantasy twist. That is on all the stuff that isn't made by Nintendo. Allegedly, Skull and Bones is finally coming out, but I will believe it when I see it. This is Ubisoft's multiplayer pirate game, which supposedly began as an Assassin's Creed Black Flag spin-off, and at one point was apparently like For Honor with boats, but since then it's taken the shape of something much more like Sea of Thieves, and it's been delayed about, well, my entire career. Anyway, that drops anchor on new gen and PC March 9th, allegedly. To make up for the extremely long wait for Bayonetta 3, Platinum Games is rewarding fans of the bespectacled Umber Witch with a brand new installment less than a year later. Bear in mind, it's a pretty big shift, ditching the realistic third-person action for a top-down adventure with a cuter storybook aesthetic, but it definitely looks more fun than waiting 5 years for a sequel.
Do you
that is on
feel
Switch,
the next
March
world
17th.
pressed
Still on March
close on
17th is
these
Star Wars
late-night
Jedi Survivor, the
dreams?
follow-up to Fallen Order, which sees the return of an older and hairier Cal
feels the
Kestis who will
presence of those
undoubtedly
she
have
lost,
some new tricks
the
up his
great
sleeve.
and the
Technical
good.
hiccups aside, Respawn
Gods
knocked it
and
out of the
ghosts.
park with the first game, so
We are
hopefully this
watched,
continues this.
bet on it, by those who dwell in the direction we cannot point to.
Perhaps these will show you the path. May this help your journey.
I hope these interest you. Curious.
Here's what we can do for you. I hope you put it to good use. This war...
Excellent armaments, operator. Please return
covered in blood.
safe and sound.
What flesh is within that warframe? I will crush it. I will fill my lungs with your death. Forget the Lotus.
This is a rescue mission. We need to find and liberate the hostage before any harm comes to them. The enemy is on high alert. The moment you enter the holding area, they'll trigger the execution sequence. Rescue the hostage before it finishes. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Hurry up. You are running out of time. Here are the holding cells. Search each one for the hostage.
Thank the stars, not a minute too soon.
You've located the hostage. Escort the prisoner to the extraction point, and I'll take care of the rest.
I need a weapon.
I'm detecting a large security force heading your way. It's the Grenier. Has been secured. You've done your part, Tenno. We'll take it from here.
Too easy. I expected more. I deserve a challenge. Respond.
Your mission is to break into enemy data vaults and steal any...
Operator, you have remembered well how the Tenno arm themselves.
What flesh is within that warframe?
Tenno, I need you to get inside enemy data vaults and retrieve crucial intelligence data.
That was a close one.
Tenno, be on the lookout for increased security measures. The enemy would rather destroy their data than let it get into our hands. You're nearing the console. Trigger the alarms now, and they will start destroying the data. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. You've triggered the alarms. Lose this data, and the mission will be a complete failure. You've triggered the alarms. Lose this data, and the mission will be a complete failure.
Let's go on the offensive.
We allowed the enemy to destroy all their data. This mission is over.
J'ai fait n'importe quoi. J'ai cru que j'avais balancé l'alarme, mais en fait c'était pas moi.
Tenno, be on the lookout for increased security measures. The enemy has successfully destroyed all the data. This mission is a failure.
Je vais venir avec Loki.
If I may say, operator, your chosen warframe suits you. Ha ha.
Too easy. I expected more. I deserve a challenge.
Je vais la faire tout seul, hein. Pas plus simple.
Tenno, you are here to infiltrate data vaults and retrieve highly sensitive enemy information. You're nearing the console. Trigger the alarms now, and they will start destroying the data. Tenno, be on the lookout for increased security measures. The enemy would rather destroy their data than let it get into our hands. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. You've triggered the alarms. Lose this data and the mission will be a complete failure.
J'ai pas rien touché, rien touché. C'est pas moi, putain. Putain de Sarah, c'est pas moi.
We allowed the enemy to destroy all their data. This mission is over.
C'est quoi ce bordel? Ça devient compliqué. Je vais faire tout seul.
Tenno, you are here to infiltrate data vaults and retrieve highly sensitive enemy information.
Grineer prey on the weak, but we prey on the Grineer.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Tenno, be on the lookout for increased security measures. You've triggered the alarms. Lose this data and the mission will be a complete failure.
Salut. Ouais.
You've triggered the alarms. Lose this data and the mission will be a complete failure. You got it. The data is still intact. We have everything we came for. Get to extraction.
Excellent armaments, operator. Please return covered in blood.
Assassination contracts are not to be taken lightly. Eliminating this target will have a significant impact on enemy forces. Search the area. Leave no survivors.
The Grineer deteriorate over time. Is that what makes them violent?
General Sargus Ruck has become a problem for our artifact recovery efforts. Several of our dig sites in this sector have been attacked and annexed by Ruck and his fleet. Take Ruck out.
Too easy. I expected more. I deserve a challenge.
Ruck sees flesh as a flaw. As a result, he has built a profitable artifact smuggling outfit to finance his search for the best in Grineer body modifications and augmentations. I'm detecting a large security force heading your way. It's the Grineer. Target acquired. Take them down.
You, Kendall. You fight for treasure. You are just another Clovis machine to me.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Are you just mercenaries fighting for scraps? Where is this so-called honor? Protect
Nice work taking down the VIP. Now get to extraction. Marines inbound. Target down. Assassination contract complete. Great work, Tenno.
Yo, là, ça va ou quoi? Ça va, hein. Tranquille, hein.
Forget the Lotus.
Ouais, c'est ça, ouais.
Your masters submit for mercy.
Je gagne toujours des trucs communs.
Stand by while I analyze the intelligence profiles of the Grenier. Error, not a number. Did the officer criticism?
En plus, c'était long, là. Il y avait un espionnage, fallait faire 3 sur 3 et c'était chaud, les mecs ils échouaient à chaque fois. Ben, j'ai déjà fait ça, c'était le principal hein, pour aujourd'hui. J'ai fait ma répute aussi pour ces céphalon là. Pour m'acheter ces trucs à chaque fois là. Parce que j'avais pas. Oh, je peux sortir. Comme ça, achète les trucs au céphalon pour upgrader mon scanner. Mais là, je crois que j'ai pas assez de points. Hein.
Fishing tanks scrubbed, grounded, and flushed. Ready for service.
Tenno, you will make an excellent... Show me your dedication to the sanctuary.
Ah, c'est pas là.
This is how I can help you.
On va pas faire beaucoup de points par jour. Hein. Ouais, j'ai tout usé. J'ai acheté ça. J'ai acheté hier. Et là, ouais, je vais acheter du coup ça. En avoir ben, demain, je serai dessus là. Après, il faudra que j'achète ça. Celui-là.
I will share what I know, but you must prove yourself deserving.
Là, ce que je fais les résurgences, j'ai fait. Du coup, en tout cas, les primes, les warframes, les armes, j'ai pas encore fait. Route d'acier, j'ai pas trop fait là. Pas trop le temps. Voir ce qu'il donne quand même. Je prenne quand même celui-là cette semaine quoi. Faut que j'en prenne un par semaine de ça. Oh, c'est sympa ça aussi. Oh, c'est pas grand chose mais. Coûte que 3. Ça c'est bien aussi. Ah, nice. Ça aussi, ça aussi. De toute façon, faut que je refasse, hein. Bordel, j'ai que 5 mal. Après ça dans la semaine. Et j'ai le temps.
Je voudrais vous souhaiter une chaleureuse bienvenue à tous. Tout le monde ici va participer à 6 jeux différents durant les 6 jours à venir. Celui ou celle qui sortira vainqueur des 6 jeux remportera...
Alors, t'as regardé One Piece sur Netflix ou quoi?
So, Tenno, you up for a little job on the side? These won't last long.
Ils vont quoi? Ah. C'est tout. Ouais, ça va, c'est sympa. C'est plus résumé, mais bon, t'es obligé de toute façon. Mais ouais, c'est bien. J'avais pas trop regardé et justement, ça va, ça fait pas trop cheap, c'est bien inclus. Tu vois, voilà, niveau budget, on sent que la série, bon, il n'y a pas eu encore beaucoup de gros effets, hein, mais on va voir ce que ça donne par la suite, quoi. Ouais, bien sûr, ouais, c'était. En plus, moi, j'ai regardé en VF avec le petit, il a pas mal accroché. Et après, je l'ai quand même regardé un petit peu avec les VO, et là, j'étais dedans à fond, quoi. Les personnages sont assez bien choisis. À part Usopp qui a pas de long nez, mais bon. Après, il y a... Pour les connaisseurs, il y a des passages... à leur sauce, quoi. Par exemple, je sais pas si t'as tout vu, mais par exemple, y a pas Octo. On voit pas Octo dans la Long Park. Pourtant, c'est un personnage plutôt important. Parce que le défi technique il était trop élevé de faire Octo. Je pense que ça devait être ça. Du coup, je vais faire quoi là? Je sais pas ce que je vais faire là. Voilà, j'ai fait ma journée. Les photos ils sont pas là. J'allais m'entraîner sur Tekken. Et bientôt il y aura Tekken 8. Ouais, franchement, ouais, pas mal. À combien de reliques je suis? Oh là là, je suis dépouillé. Mais ça va, c'était pour la bonne cause. Et justement, dans la fonderie, j'ai pas fait un tour dans la fonderie. Waouh, tout ce que j'ai récupéré, c'est beau ça. What ça. Comment c'est beau? C'est beau? Franchement?
I've been thinking, operator.
Ah, c'est de la préparation, même. Tout ça, c'est de l'XP, c'est... Il y a plein de trucs que je vais devoir jeter, il y en a que je vais garder. Aquarius, je garde. Apparemment, ça a l'air pas mal, je sais pas. Si t'as déjà testé. Mais ça a l'air bien. J'ai pas beaucoup d'armes secondaires, franchement. J'aimerais bien avoir une deuxième arme secondaire qui me plaise. Après, il y en a que j'ai... Tu m'as dit, il y a le Shidu, je crois. Mais je l'ai pas encore fait. Mais bon, voilà, j'aimerais bien avoir un double gun qui est bien, quoi. Et j'ai vu qu'ils étaient pas mal. J'ai fait ça parce que je l'avais pas fait. En plus, j'ai récupéré la pièce au hasard en farmant, tu vois. Du Voltid, mais là, c'est tombé. Voilà. Hop. Et ça, c'est ce que j'ai farmé récemment. Alors, Baroque. 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 Du coup, je vais pouvoir balancer le Baroque. Mac Prime. Nix Prime. Ah oui, j'ai pas chômé quand même, hein. J'ai joué tranquille, mais j'ai fait les trucs qu'il y avait à ces temps-ci, quoi. Rhino Prime. Voilà pour les Warframes, ça a récupéré, donc on va les faire. Hop, c'est où encore? Baroque. Non, je vais te dire. Mag Prime. Mix Prime. Et Rhino. Voilà. Nombre d'heures, pitch. Voilà. Voilà, 636, hein. Avec beaucoup d'AFK, hein, t'as vu, j'ai joué efficace, man, efficace. Après, il y a tout le côté... les arcanes, là, que j'ai pas beaucoup. Il me faudrait surtout l'arcane énergie. Donc je sais, ce sera le prochain truc que je ferai là pour les arcanes. Il faudra que je fasse pour avoir arcane énergie. Sur l'hydroliste ou un truc comme ça, j'ai vu, en le capturant. C'est pour ça qu'il fallait que je monte mon sniper et tout, que... Ouais, il faut que je vois la répute aussi avec Little Duck. Et je vais aller jeter un coup d'œil pendant que j'y suis aussi, parce qu'il y a des trucs que j'oublie, tu vois. Papa. Warframe la plus utilisée, ça y est, il est passé devant. T'as vu? Wukong Prime. Donc là, le temps que j'ai joué, c'est plus de temps que j'ai joué dans tout le temps que j'avais joué avant. Par contre, l'arme de mêlée, pas encore. Ça n'a pas encore changé. Même l'arme secondaire. Par contre, l'arme principale, là, c'est l'Ignis. Le compagnon, le Kavat, hein, bien sûr. Non, non, non. En plus, comme je te dis, là, il n'y a rien. Il y a une période creuse. Après, il y aura d'autres jeux, mais bon, moi, je me suis mis à jour. Là, j'ai juste à jouer un peu. Il n'y a pas vraiment à jouer à mort maintenant pour finir ce que j'ai commencé, quoi. Tout est déjà commencé, même au niveau de l'opérateur, ben bon, c'est que 2 écoles pour le moment, mais pour le moment, ben Naramon est déjà presque tout débloqué. Le Zénurique, voilà, ça avance bien. Voilà, ouais, tranquille. Hein. Ah, c'est ça que je veux débloquer là, il me faut 600 000. Il faut que j'aille faire du focus. Et le focus, ouais, je vais... Du coup, le mieux, je pense, ouais, c'est d'aller à... Du viré. Ouais, rattraper le retard aussi par rapport à toutes les Warframes. Mais oui, il m'en manque encore beaucoup. Ok. Parce que là, en fait, sur... c'est une lentille sup que j'utilise. Hop. Bon, voilà la lentille. Voilà. C'est une générique sup. En plus, je peux en faire, mais faut que je rate ce que j'ai avant. Hop. Alors. J'ai Subnaramon. J'ai tu vois, j'ai les autres, mais j'ai. Du coup, il faudra que je fasse une sub zénurique. Là, il faut que je fasse une sub zénurique, quoi. Et je veux continuer sur le zénurique. Et après, il faut que je trouve d'autres Warframes pour faire monter, tu vois. Bah, Volt Prime, je pense que je vais lui coller aussi une lentille. Comme ça, lui, il fera une école, tu vois. Faut que je vois sur quel autre Warframe je vais coller ça. J'ai pas collé à chaque fois sur Sarine, tu vois, la supprimer et tout. Ouais, mais du coup, je monte une école par école à chaque fois. Par exemple, je prends Sarine et puis je lui mets une lentille, je monte une école, je continue avec Sarine, je remonte une école avec une autre lentille. Ou sinon, j'utilise d'autres Warframes. C'est vrai qu'après, si j'ai plus besoin de points, ça me servira à rien. Autant que je monte école par école, non? Bah, je pourrais mettre sur Volt Prime, tu vois, il est bon pour ça. Par exemple, entre autres, hein. Mirage, tu vois. Par contre, j'ai vu, hein, il disait pour faire le focus, c'est Volt, Mirage, Sarine. Truc qui défonce et fait des dégâts de zone, quoi. Ouais, t'as balayé tous les jours. Bon, allez, je vais aller faire là, du coup. Tiens, on va aller avec ça, tiens.
Well put together, operator. Now get out there and cut down the... and make the Lotus proud.
C'est quoi ça? Pas compris. Attends. Des nuits de week-end sur les plaines. Oui, j'ai vu ça, oui.
This is a stress test. Destroy all specimens as quickly as possible. Chaos, the true...
Justement pour ça que j'essaye de... Notamment cette arme-là, que j'avais faite pour les édolons. Il faut encore que je me fasse un bon ampli, mais... Parce que j'ai regardé sur un guide, et le mec il disait ouais cet ampli c'est l'ampli qui DPS le plus machin pour les édolons apparemment, mais... C'est rectassé l'ampli que je fais. Je crois que c'est un 2-2-1. Ben, avec ce build, je préfère avec du monde. Mais ça m'empêche pas de faire des points de focus. Au contraire, hein, des fois, je sens même que, par exemple, quand il y a une mirage ou quoi, et que moi j'empoisonne tout le monde, et ben, je fais des scores de fou des fois. Hein. Tant que je participe au kill, on dirait que ça me donne le bordel. Hein. Pourquoi faut Naramon, pourquoi? Ah oui, Naramon. Il faut Naramon, les bonus de Naramon, tu veux dire? J'ai déjà fait du 50 000. 50 000 j'ai fait. On a des maps de merde là en même temps là. J'aurais pas dû rentrer par là. J'aurais dû le faire depuis le relais ou un truc, non? Ah, pas il éclaté. Et t'as vu, Reno, il y a un build. T'as une armure de ouf. Ça monte à des millions. Putain, ils meurent tous avec le truc de l'Octavia. Ah, puis il y a un volt. Trop stylé. Par exemple, les mecs à l'index prennent ça. Ah, elle va faire un bon score là. J'espère. Ah, 15 000, tu vois. Pourtant, c'était pas ouf, hein. Non, elle est pas ouf, je suis juste resté ici. Focus, tu veux dire. Ah, ok, ok. C'est trop bien.
A new data conduit. Proceed immediately.
Putain, tue tout le monde là. Du coup, je l'ai fait avec... Il y a un mec qui le faisait avec Reno. On était à l'index. Ah, il prenait au moins 30 pièces, le mec. T'en foutais. Il avait 3 millions d'armure, le mec. Oh, on est deux sarines. Putain, c'est la merde pour ça. Ah, là, c'est vraiment la merde. Bonne soirée, man. Yeah.
Ease your mind, Hunter. There is no conclusive evidence these data immortals possess memory persistence. They should retain no recollection of what you have done to them. I have opened a new data conduit. Proceed immediately. Hunter, your reliance on that ability is skewing my data. I have disabled it for now. A new data conduit is open. Our experiment moves to a new zone. Feel it now? That stress? You are generating useful data, Hunter. Enter the conduit now. Hurry, Hunter! The conduit is closing fast! data conduit is open. Go now.
Dreamers, dreamers, dreamers! There just is no holding you all back.
Hunter, you are running out of time. Enter the data conduit. Hunter, the sanctuary will go on without you.
For all the universe's complexity, there's only one plot. Things are not what they seem.